Traders, welcome back to another price action trading lesson. We're looking at trading range structure. And how do I know this is a trading range? Well, fairly simple, because the 21 bar supportive indicator, the blue line, is flat. I have a lot of price swings just swinging up and down through the exponential moving average, and there is no clear strong uptrend or downtrend. So the structure is a healthy trading range without imbalance. And this is important because when I'm trading in a ranging market, I want to make sure I'm going to identify the important key levels, the low of the day, the high of the day, and I also want to make sure I have these important key levels with as many confirmations as I can get without making it too tight. So when I'm trading a trading range, I want to focus on selling high and buying low. But in the meantime, as you can see, I have a lot of channels on the chart that is also by design, because this allows me to follow the candles, the trend line rule precisely, because trend line rule says in price action, after there is a break and a new extreme, you expect correction or reversal. And here we're coming off the range highs, downtrend working lower, close outside, new extreme, and I'm going to pay attention what the price action is going to do. And since we have massive bullish spike breaking above EMA, this is telling me that I need to pause looking to sell. Downtrend played out with the break new extreme. We are in a tight trading range, so I'm looking for only tight channels. That's one of the ways how you treat the price action in a trading range that is tight and small like this. And notice what we have. Counting from the lowest low, there's a first entry short pullback, second entry short failure. Now second entry short will be a high probability setup at the EMA if the trend down was in play. But the trend down is not in play. It played out and followed by a very strong push above EMA. This right here is a bearish trap. It formed above EMA with a great tier 1 signal bar. So this would be a first high probability setup for today. Felt second entry short, great signal bar closing on its high, and market continues working higher. And we can see that we have empty room at the top, and this is a very strong bullish spike. So when I'm watching this, there's also a possibility for me to adapt to a spike in a channel, because it looks like we spiked up, we went a little bit sideways, and a flatter channel was developed. So as you can see, we have a spike in a channel, prices are working lower. I'm going to redraw the short-term downtrend. Now we are also bouncing at the resistance, so if you're going to go long, you really want to see a textbook setup, because once again, you don't know if the sellers are already overwhelming the market and you're going to push lower. So just make sure you're observing the EMA and the short-term downtrend. Okay, we have a break, new extreme, but everything is below EMA, second entry long, and it is congested. EMA in one of these bars, 5 bars stacked right next to each other, so you cannot take any setup at this point. Okay, when I'm watching a breakout like this, I'm looking for a higher low breakout pullback. Because we have a two-legged pullback second entry long, the setup I would like is a breakout, pullback, high low confirmation setup. Let's see if we can get it. Why? Because the uptrend still needs to get new extreme according to trend line rules. And the fact that you're pushing above EMA is telling you that you're going to get the new high, and we already created the new extreme. This high is higher than the latest highest high inside this trend. So at this point, I'm pausing my longs. Once again, micro double top, quadruple top. So there's a big chance that we may reverse now. So I'm pausing my longs because the trend line rule is telling me, and the range rule is telling me as well. I expect for market to continue working lower. We have a new high, the first entry long, pullback, and I was expecting a failed second entry long coming off the range highs, pushing below EMA, but there is no break higher above this bullish bar high. So there is no second entry long for me to even look for failure. So I cannot really sell just yet, because we still didn't get a good second entry long, just a first entry long, pullback, and the second entry long is yet to trigger. I'm resuming the video as we have a second entry short, but I have a short-term uptrend that is still in play. There's a possible chance that we may have overshoot, and the body is still quite far away from the EMA, so I'm skipping the second entry short. I will need to have some confirmation. It may well work, but a lot of times I've been burned, because when there is a gap between the body and the EMA, a lot of times prices will come back. So I'm gladly going to lay this one off and see if we get some additional high probability setup. So hopefully it makes sense why you want to avoid taking the second entry short. The uptrend is in play, and I can see that we have massive bounce in the lower part of the trend range. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure, I'm going to find some support and see what's going to happen. I was expecting lower high to get the new extreme, but lower high never formed and market continues working higher. So at that point, I'm going to adapt, because this is behaving as overshoot, which can generate strong momentum in opposite direction, and prices keep working higher. So at this point, I'm going to make my channel even wider like this, because I expect for prices to reach the range highs again. Okay, you're bouncing off the range highs. We have massive bearish rejection, but the uptrend is still in play. But you can see how the price session is reacting to the range highs. You always want to be careful not going long directly into these highs. And in fact, you want to be looking for some nice short setup. But once again, no lower high, which lower high would not be enough given the uptrend. You need a felt second entry long, and that never formed as well. So I gotta be careful. I'm gonna redraw the short and downtrend. Okay, you have first entry short. You have a micro, break a new extreme. This is pretty much no man's land, so I can't really take any side. The downtrend played out. I can't really go long because the bar is way too big directly into the EMA. So I'm just waiting, letting the price action do its thing. Break new high. The market, and notice we didn't make it to the top of the trend range. So this is indicating, okay, the bearish bias is quite strong because we were supposed to make it all the way up to here. The fact that they didn't form, that means prices are a little bit more bearish, but at the same time, I don't really like selling directly into the support here, so you gotta be careful. And market keeps trending lower. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna redraw why the downtrend, and notice we found ourselves at the bottom of the trend range, at the support at the low of the day. So what do you expect according to rules? You expect pivot. You expect buyers to step into the market, sellers to take profit. Can I go long? I cannot. The downtrend is in play. We failed to reach the resistance, which is confirmation that the bias is going to be a little bit more bearish. And right now, we have failed breakout. So even though it's working, the downtrend is in play. So unfortunately, I cannot sell just yet. But you can see, while you're playing a trend range, you're just following the shortened channels, and you're looking for a good two-legged pullback at the key entry point or some trap. And once it's unclear or a little bit congested, you gotta be careful. And notice, now we have a new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short. So we have another second entry short, which trendline rules need to get new extreme, new low. But I cannot sell directly into the bottom of the trend range. So even though you expect new low according to trendline rule, you gotta be careful because the next time you may take it, will bounce on you because you sold directly into the lows. And notice the market is starting to go back up. So when I see break a new extreme below the low of the day and a massive bullish push, I'm looking for high-low confirmation setup or failed second entry short. I was even thinking about possibly entering here, but there is no break higher above this bar, so there is no higher low, never triggered. And now you're back below EMA. Okay, so prices are more bearish than expected. And now you have new extreme. Trend, break, new extreme, which means I need to pause, looking to go long, at least temporarily. You can see it looks like a visual two-legged pullback. Prices are breaking below after two-legged pullback, and notice what you have. You have lower high. Actually, it is right above the EMA, but notice the low of the day is rejecting lower high. The uptrend played out with the break new extreme, and you have larger two-legged pullback. And you can see how the bulls are struggling to push back into trend range. You have a massive bullish spike, instant rejection. Massive bullish spike, instant rejection. This is not what is supposed to happen when the bulls are strong and they're going to go back into the trend range. So this is a sign the prices are more bearish because notice you have some resistance here and we are not even making it to the middle of the trend range. However, this is quite in the middle of no man's land and it's above EMA. I have to mark it only as aggressive setup, lower high, uptrend played out with the break new extreme, but it's pretty much confirming that we have bearish bias. So now that we have bearish bias, I'm going to redraw short and downtrend, but also this bias is so strong that I want to measure the projected legs. We have a first leg down, break, second leg down. Okay, so this is my target. And notice prices keep trending all the way down. Now we are far from EMA, you cannot sell. But now that I can see that this downtrend is so substantial, this means there's a bigger pattern in play. So if I'm going to look for this channel, this is way too broad and way too flat. I cannot use it. So I'm going to use this swing. And notice it's getting bounce here and even the lower high confirming. So I'm just going to copy it, put it at the bottom, and notice we are making an overshoot. Because I'm getting swing here confirmation. We broke way below the two-legged pullback. This downtrend also played out with the breaking extreme, and notice how sharp and steep this push down is. This is depletion and this is overshoot. Why is it important for me to recognize overshoot? Overshoot can generate strong momentum in opposite direction. As a price action trader, you need to understand that there is a push phase, correction phase, and the push phase in the market. The market cannot continue working lower. Sometimes traders, they see the market working lower like this, while we have broad corrections, and they, for example, make the channel even wider like this, because they have a tunnel vision and they want to see market working lower and lower and lower, but that cannot happen. Okay, you can use 10,000 tick chart and see how far away from the EMA you are, but this is way too steep and way too strong of a push down, and there needs to be equilibrium. There just needs to be some form of a pullback. For this reason, I'm using the bigger channel to help me identify the overshoot, how steep this was. This is depletion. And for this reason, I expect stronger bullish pullback. So if there's going to be a second entry short at the EMA, I'm not going to take it. Okay, at first I was looking for channel like this, but this is too wide. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for channel like this. The bullish trend is in play due to overshoot. Okay, you have a second entry short, we cannot take it. And now you have potentially a double trap, but it's still above EMA, it would need to close below. But even if there's double trap, you cannot take it. You have overshoot, you close above, the option is in play. Since the option is in play and I have overshoot, I gotta be careful. Okay, and notice price action is behaving exactly according to overshoot. So what I'm going to do, since we are pushing higher so much, I'm going to even look for a wider channel, something like this. Okay, we're breaking the main channel. Can I sell? I cannot. This wide option is still in play. What I'm thinking about is letting this trend play out with the break new extreme and then look to sell. I cannot go long on a second entry low because it's so far from EMA and the main trend is down. And notice, close outside, new extreme. I'm going to mark my new high. Massive bear rejection. That's good for bears. You can see we have, is the overshoot measured to the break? Very close. Sometimes the market geometry works in that fashion as well. So what am I expecting at this point? This downtrend needs to get new extreme according to trendline rules. So I'm expecting for prices to push below EMA and for sellers to show a failed second entry long. Okay, we're above EMA, so we're not below. And here we have failed second entry long, but we never managed to break below and it's bullish bar, so I'm gonna be careful. And now that I'm watching this, I'm also thinking about visual failed second entry long or lower high, because the downtrend needs to get new extreme. But notice my lower high, how it looks. Half of the bar is bullish body, so that's not a good bar. I cannot take it. And you can see two great scalps. Unfortunately, we are unable to enter because both times the signal bar is bullish. Okay, I have a second entry short, but the signal bar has a big tail at the bottom. Not that great. Okay, lower high, not good. Too close to these lows, bullish bar again. So good setups, but I can't really take them. Price session is going sideways, and notice what we have. New low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short. Micro second entry short, finally great tier 1 signal bar, and notice the EMA rejections. EMA rejection every single time. Great second entry short, the downtrend is new extreme, and prices created a quick, easy scalp. Your stop loss goes one tick above the signal bar, you're scalping for 8 to 10 ticks. This volatility was very slow, so you may even go for 6, but it was way past that quick, easy scalp. Alright, traders, I'm resuming the video as I'm going to take a micro second entry short if it triggers, but prices need to break below. Okay, so I'm going to drop my limit order one tick back. Actually, I'm going to put it at the very close of the bar. Let's see if we can get filled here. We have a new low, first entry short, second entry short. EMA keeps holding nicely. Actually, I'm going to chase it just a little bit here. Come on. First entry short, second entry short. Consistent rejections of the EMA. Great bar. And we didn't get filled. So I need to cancel the order because the scalp was already made. And market bounced off of the here. So I'm going to follow the shortened channel. But I still expect new low. I'm not thinking about reversing just yet. Okay. I was thinking about possible second entry short, new low. Kind of like a first entry short, pull back, lower high, and a second entry short like this. but there is no lower high and there is no chance for us to enter, and market continues working lower. So what I'm gonna do, redraw the shortened downtrend. I have overshoot again. I have a first entry short, and there's no first entry short because there's no trigger lower. At this point, I'm still expecting new low for the downtrend, but I gotta be careful. I need to see that we have bullish trend up, and I trade the price action we get, not the price action we want. Okay, and notice what is happening. EMA completely flattening, and a lot of price swings swinging up and down, up and down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find my key level, because I can clearly see that the structure is transforming from just a pure downtrend into a trend range. So I'm going to locate my possible support, possible resistance. I'm also see that we have a spike in a channel. Give a break, new extreme. Okay, I cannot really sell because this was a very strong spike in a channel. I cannot go long directly into these highs, horrible bar, and we're breaking back below EMA. Okay, so the bearish bias is starting to get established, but there is no convincing short setup. Okay, we're below EMA, so we definitely cannot go long. We're strongly being rejected off the resistance, but I can't really sell just yet. Okay, and now you have new high, first entry long, pullback. I'm not really sure if we first trigger below and then higher. For the sake of this, I'm good, because I was on my break here. I came shortly after. You have a new high, first entry long, pullback. I'm going to treat it as a failed second entry long, which it's pretty good because you're bouncing off the range highs, and you can see there's a possible downtrend being formed like this. So, you know, this is a decent failed second entry short, but it is a little bit stacked. So you may be a little bit patient, because notice if I'm going to draw small little support, the thing is this support is not as significant because you are bouncing off the range highs and you expect still new low for the downtrend, because this is a trend range but with the bearish bias. But if you want to be patient, I can definitely understand. And notice what is happening. We have a breakout pullback. We have a lower high of this failed second entry long, confirming the downtrend, confirming the EMA, and confirming the breakout pullback. So we have 3 key entry points, which adds more confidence to the setup. And this is a nice lower high, breakout pullback, great high probability setup. I tried to take this setup myself, but I didn't get filled. You would need to use the stop order. And notice the more key entry points you have in price action, the better. All right, traders, I took a break and now I'm back, but I'm going to enter this trade. I took a break around this choppy area, but I can see we have a new high, first entry long, second entry long failure. I can kind of reset the count. We have a first entry long pullback, another second entry long failure. It's right off the EMA. It's right off this trend line. Failed second entry long again. Or you can trade just as a confirmation of 2 key entry points. There's a micro double bottom which resets the count, so we have only technically first entry short. But I'm gonna try to take this as well. I'm going to chase it just a little bit here. And I need to cancel the order because we didn't get filled. This was a great breakout pullback. I was expecting second entry short, but the second entry short never formed. I'm gonna even adapt because this is way too steep. So I'm gonna adapt like this. Okay. I was once again looking for second entry short, but we only have first entry short. Okay, we're very close to bouncing. I'm still expecting new low, but we have massive push up. Okay, so I'm gonna redraw the short and uptrend. I'm gonna mark my support. Now, 2 downtrends still expect to get new extreme, so I'm not really looking to go long. We have a micro break new extreme. Okay, good. So what am I expecting? Large second entry short, lower high. But we're pushing above EMA again. I can't take it above EMA. I would need to see below EMA. Okay, I'm still expecting bearish setup, but prices keep completely reversing all the way up. And now it's getting pretty much too late. So we can see the range highs still coming into play. Perfect trend range rules. You can see the downtrend overshoot. 2 large attempts to test the new low. This is the first leg down, break second leg down. Couple of good setups here. Early on, there weren't that many setups because when you're trading a tight trend range like this, you really got to be careful. But there was even no setup to sell high or buy low. So you pretty much just have to wait this out, just follow the shortened channels. And there was a decent lower high, but it's definitely quite aggressive. There was a great failed second entry short trap right very early. But you can see if you combine all the price action rules, it can pretty much help you to stay on the right side of the market. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you had a good trading day and good luck with your trading.